Have you ever met someone who thought they were better than others just because of how they look? Okay, so today I want to share with you a story about a very proud rose. So, have you seen a rose? Okay, rose is a beautiful flower with a soft petals and a sweet smell. It also has small thorns on its stem. Once upon a time, there lived a proud rose that was incredibly proud of her beautiful looks. The only disappointment it had was that it grew beside an ugly cactus. Are you familiar with cactus? Cactus is a plant with thick stem and sharp thorns that stores water to survive in hot and dry places. Every next day, the rose would be ready with an insult that would pour upon the poor cactus for his looks, and the cactus would remain quiet. No matter how hard every other plant in the garden tried to make, the rose saw some senses, but she was too swayed by her good looks. One fine day, a pine tree near the blossom rose said that it wished it was such a beautiful flower and hoped it could be so lovely one fine day. Another tree said to the pine tree that there was no need to be sad as we did not have everything. Hearing the conversation, the rose replied to the trees and said that it seems like she was the most beautiful flower in this forest. Sunflowers raised its yellow head and asked, "Why did you say that? In this forest, there are many beautiful flowers and you're just one of them." The red rose replied that it saw everyone looking at her and admiring her. The next moment, Red Rose added her cunning wit by humiliating the cactus beside it and called it ugly and full of thorns. The tree quickly replied that this was a shameful talk by the rose as no one could decide what beauty was, and the rose itself had so many thorns. As the day passed, the rose would look at the cactus and say insulting things. The cactus never got upset and even advised the rose that God did not create any form of life without purpose. Spring passed, the water became hot. Life became severe in the forest as there were no rain for very long. The red rose became wilt. One day, the red rose saw a sparrow stick its beak into the cactus and fly away. The rose was amazed by this and asked the pine tree what the birds were doing. The pine tree replied, "The birds were getting water from the cactus, which was hurting the cactus by the holes they made inside. But it could not see the birds suffer, and thus it was helping them." The red rose felt too ashamed to ask the cactus for water, but finally, it did ask for help. And what do you think the response of the cactus? Okay, the cactus kindly agreed. The bird filled their beaks with waters and watered the rose's roots. So what do you think the rose learned in the end? That's right. True beauty is not just about how we look on the outside, but how kind, helpful, and humble we are on the inside. Sad to say, it's the unending issue we have right now that people easily judge the book by its cover. But I hope, guys, that you will be like the cactus who is kind, patient, and humble all the time.